Hello, dear friends. Today I'm going to talk to you about the planning. Um, I think this presentation would be helpful to project coordinators or coordinators of any management system. It could be quality management system, occupational health and safety, and environmental management system, or it could be just single projects. When planning, we need to consider a number of things, make sure that we are achieving the intended results of the projects or intended results of the management system. So for these purposes, we need to go through some of the elements of the planning. First, we need to understand the context of organizations. We can use SWOT analysis, identify what's our strengths and weaknesses, and in order to make sure that we are bringing our weaknesses to the strength sides, we need to take some actions. These actions is going to be part of our plan. Second, we need to identify interested parties. Interested parties could be internal and external, doesn't matter. We need to identify those parties first, and then to identify their interest. What are their interests? And once we identify their interest, we will analyze to see are we able achieving meeting their interest, or still we are out of the scope. Then we will move to our projects or management system related legislations requirement, legal and other requirements. It could be regulatory requirements, or it could be any conventions or international standards or any standards applicable to our projects. We need to identify all these applicable requirements, and then again analyze to see are we meeting these requirements or not. We might meet all of them, or we might not meet some of them. Then we will pick up these non-compliant requirements, and we will consider them when we are going to prepare our plan. Also, we will need to look at our customers' needs and expectations. First, we need to identify our customers. They could be internal and external. Again, we need to understand their needs, expectations, and requirements. And if we are capable to meet their needs and expectations, then it's okay. If not, then that will go to the plan as well. So, last but not least is risk and opportunity management. We need to identify our hazards and opportunities, assess the risks and opportunities, develop an action plan in order to reduce high level of risks and increase high level of opportunities. Once we have developed this action plan, this action also will be moved to our plan. And then we are going to develop our plan, and our plan should be aligned with the strategy of the organizations or company. And once we develop full comprehensive plan, then we will start to pick up the key areas, objectives, in order to achieve within some time period. So for these purposes, we need to consider that our objectives are SMART. SMART stands for S, specific; M, measurable; A, achievable; R, realistic or relevant; T will be actually time bound. So if we have our objectives, which actually comes from our developed plan, we need to make sure that this objectives is achievable, it is relevant to our strategy, our policy, our standards, etc. and then we need to make sure that it's measurable. We are able to measure it. In order to measure it, we actually develop some key performance indicators. This will help us to measure our objectives. And then, of course, we will need to put some time. If we have objectives and it waits for decades, it doesn't mean that it is smart objectives. We have to have some time period, make sure that we are achieving these objectives within the deadline. Once we established our objectives, now it is time to start to think about the program. The program will enable us to achieve our established objectives, and that program will consist of specific actions, responsible parties, resources. It could be budgets or it could be other resources, and then we will have deadlines for each identified specific actions. So that's how we have to develop a plan for our projects or for any management system. Thank you very much.